And it's time to go live from the sports betting capital of the world here in Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and I'm coming to you with the morning steam for Tuesday, November 7th, Election Day, which means no NBA today. They'd like you to get out the vote and do our civic duty. So, no pro basketball to talk about tonight, but we'll find some things to discuss. Certainly, there's a good hockey card. Got a little bit of college football. Few from the college hardwood as well. Yesterday, man, that massive card. Ready to dip my toe after seeing how the numbers played out. Yesterday, we made picks on the air. We had some winners, couple losers, but definitely looked at that entire card. Want to make sure everything's on point, and we're ready to roll with college basketball. Light card today, but season underway. How about uh, uh, Zach Eady tipping it off? Hot, the 7 footer up against a guy barely 5'5" up there in that jump. Kind of funny yesterday. How about Monday Night Football last night? Everybody with my Chargers. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. The Chargers were able to come through with a victory, a sloppy victory at that. Just shows where this Jets program lies, even with the fact that uh, Wilson had begun to, perform a little bit better. That was a bad situation, but it was all about that Chargers getting off on that Jets offensive line with uh, Bosa and Khalil Mack. How did this happen? They get a couple of sacks each, and the Chargers hold the Jet 3 of 17 on third down. Herbert, he was a little under pressure. I mean, obviously the Jets defense is pretty decent too, but the Jets, they can't catch the ball. That would help a struggling quarterback. And, well, in typical Jets fashion, they made all those penalties. And Wilson was not hitting all the targets. We know that. Both teams, 4-4. We saw Aaron Rodgers after the game, talking to a Chargers player who asked him, "Hey, when you coming back?" And what did Rodgers say to him? You can hear the audio. A few weeks. So hang in there, Jets. They can still make it, I would think, but not with Wilson. A bad performance there. We did have the play here on the under on the show, certainly, but I didn't expect that the Chargers, a bumbling organization like that. Hello to everyone. Want to say hi to everyone here as we get another sports betting day. I guess we can be out of here in an hour. They want me to get off the air. The headquarters called Ramon. You can't keep these people around for 2 hours. They just, so press me along, you guys. Let's get this show over with in a hurry. Not everyone wants to listen to me talk for more than 2 hours a day, except myself. I told them, I said, hey, these are the only friends I've got. Give me a few hours with them. We don't have that many games to talk about. Well, we'll look at a few select college football games for the early card on Saturday, and it's action tonight as well. So hi to I hope I can call you friends at this point. I don't want it to make, but let's see here. Who we got? Oh, okay, I'm ready. Maneuvering my way around the show here. Ferner, hello, thank you. And Thomas is ready. Says like and smash update, morning update. Tony, probably just a week away from that 40,000 subscriber milestone here on the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut Tony's Picks YouTube channel. 39,100 subscribers currently, and Tony, we can get there sooner than that, but I don't know. Tell your friends, share it, like it. That's what you do. Share it. I mean, there are people that are in your social media world, and Tony almost there, 40,000 subscribers here. Salty's here today. We did we turned in a we didn't have great winners on hockey yesterday. What happened? We don't usually. Maybe it was me. What was the game, you guys? You guys, I said, "Oh, I'm going this way," and you guys went that way. But we'll get back on it. I mean, I know this is what you came for, is hockey, and we got hockey today. But we only could manage the Blue Jackets, and they won only on the puck line yesterday. So Toronto got their win. How about the Bruins? Gerardo, thank you. A big day today. Well, while Gerardo's here, maybe our soccer coverage is kicked off here because it is Tuesday. So maybe real quick, we'll just see what Gerardo has for us. Doing a great job bringing us plays, not only pre-game but in-game action too. And Gerardo, the king of the second period. Uh, NHL plays, but today is Champions League Day, so a big day of action kicking off here in just a couple of hours. Dortmund and Newcastle, uh, Shakhtar and Barcelona. Afternoon games, Milan and Saint Germain, Madrid and Celtic, Cervena Zvezda and Leipzig, Porto and Antwerp, Lazio and Feyenoord. City takes on Young Boys. We're going to increase the soccer coverage, even if it's just me reading off Champions League matchups. Thank you to Gerardo. Alan says, nice to see you, Alan. The Jets, bad, bad, bad. No doubt about it. You know, wow. Uh, didn't Aaron Rodgers look like a coach though yesterday, wearing the coach's garb and the headset, and he was shaved, pretty much clean shaven there. Could have been coaching a game right there. As far as I'm concerned, now he's going to be too rich to ever want to be a football coach, and no one could ever see him be a football coach. I'm sure when he retires, he will retire to the backwoods of Peru, I'm sure. All right. Um, I don't know. You may be Matt, but maybe the different type of injury, different leg. But you're right. You know what else, Matt? Right? I mean, you got to be almost scared if you're Aaron Rodgers to come back. Okay, you guys, thanks a lot. Good comments. Here we go. I know we'll have. Maybe everybody knows a lighter day of action, but this hockey card's not. I'm hot on the hockey card. That's for sure today. Hello to Jerry joining us in the chat. I'm going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see who hit it out of the park on Monday Night Football. The Canucks rocked. What was I? There, that was the one. Thank you, Jerry. That's what it was. I was saying I'm going to go one more time on the Oilers, give them every benefit of the doubt that this has been just a rough start, but at this point, we've got to think something is broken. I know it. I know it. Just took a chance. I don't know if I saw the Canucks putting up all those goals right now. All right, we're going over to the website, Tony'sPicks.com, and take a look at the handicappers for yesterday. And Proby was bombs away, 13-9 here. And Tony absolutely on fire. Rolls another perfect day here. 3-0 Platinum Bella. 1-0 Marlon Pettis. Here, check out his videos on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Marlon definitely coming in there frequently now. Looks the part, sounds the part. This guy obviously knows what he's doing. He's already putting up winners. Welcome to Marlon. Hope to see ya. Chauncey Giles, 1-0. I'm up there somehow on the handicapper leaderboard. Is that a typo? Nick Lagarettos here, 3-2. Joseph Schultz, 4-3. All right. Over the last 7 days at Tony'sPicks.com, it's none other than the man himself. Tony T, a real strong record here, just shy of 64%, up over 7 units over the last 7 days. Chauncey Giles also right there, up over 5 units. Pravi Sambamurti, you get your money's worth with Pravi up 4.5 units over the last 7 days, over 100 plays. So you're getting more than 10 a day on average, probably more on the weekend, of course. Platinum Bella here makes her appearance on the weekly leaderboard with her 56%, and Ben Ruhala turning in profit Last 30 days, it's Hollywood Sam. Up 27.5 units. Chauncey Giles up 22 units. Ben Ruhala 13 and 3/4 units. Proby's up nearly 12 units for the month. And Joseph Schultz rings it in from the 619. That's pretty good considering that record there. Just over 500, and Joseph well into the profit. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and click on the Premium Picks tab. These are the best picks from our handicappers, including me, on a Tuesday here. 3 packs, 5 packs, 7 packs from our group. Nick Lagarettos, he's obviously firing away in Champions League today. He's also hot on the ice, and he's got his 3 packs up currently. Also, best bets from the crew today include Tony T. Proby's got one in college football, the action here, and $15 play from Daniel Walasachuk in college football as well. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. You can click on the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page and get signed up. You click on me right there. You can see all of my previous records, long term, of course, and check out all of the previous picks as well. And then you can grab the 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day. Look at this for just $79. You can use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Pick up my premium pick packages here. I know what, despite the, oh, where's my background? Was I doing this on a crummy background like this the whole time? Here we go. All right. That looks better, but now the segment's over. Anyways, 3-day all sports pass. I'll go 7-day, 30-day. Appreciate your patronage, even with what, like I said, every day is motivation day for Ferner, and he said, let's be the designer and not the consumer. Well, I'd have to take a little bit of umbrage with that, but I know what you mean, Ferner. But gonna at least tout myself here a little bit. Let's say hello to a few more people. Gerardo's got our soccer coverage lined up here with my intro. We're working together, Gerardo. You know what I'm saying? And we've got doubles here today. Ibach Excel, good to see you. How you been? Haven't seen you in a while. And Salty with his plays yesterday. And here comes some of that soccer action. Let's go to the Champions League. This is action on the noontime slate out west, 3 p.m. Eastern. Lazio and Feyenoord over 2.5. Paris Saint Germain in their game against Milan, team total over 1.5. Porto and Leipzig, that looks like a parlay at plus $1.10. Porto and Leipzig. Porto against Antwerp, as we said, and Leipzig against Cervena Zvezda. All right. Thank you. Oh, there's more. Thank you so much, Gerardo. Another parlay here from Gerardo. Porto and Barcelona, another parlay there. All right. And of course, Barcelona game is an early start, 12:45 Eastern and 9:45 Pacific. Howard, hello, nice to see you. And talking about that Nuggets action last night, let's talk about maybe just a few minutes of NBA. I know they said, but I like to talk these games with you and Bobby Smith also as well. We had a winner last night with Minnesota and a premium pick. And what a performance by Anthony Edwards. Talk about taking over a game. I mean, that's about as takeover as you can get last night in that one, with the Timberwolves winning that one. We also had the Knicks over the Clippers in a premium play as well. So a couple of winners there. What else did we have also? Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we're all caught up. So we're ready. I think we're ready to go. Anyways, some of those games on the card last night. Crazy performance by the Pacers with all those points. Lakers and Heat down to the wire certainly yesterday, and the Rockets making getting a impressive win over the Kings. A good job, Rockets. And also, we saw that Nuggets performance, Joker, another triple double. Do you guys just bet that every time? I know everybody just bets the triple double. Why don't we all do it? I mean, Ashley, hello as well. All right, I guess we got to start the picks here and get into the action for today. Unless you guys would, want to find, I could cover all 135 games from yesterday on college basketball, but I'll set it aside. I don't know what else, what maybe the headlines were yesterday in college basketball. Obviously, there was a big feature matchup in the afternoon. Really, the only one with two, kind of power schools going at it here in Las Vegas. Um, we did have some, winners that we tossed out here on the show certainly yesterday. But again, it's open to you guys as far as what we do with college basketball. Now, I've only got, I think, 2 games to preview today, and there's about a dozen or more than a dozen. But you could ask about them, and I'll make a pick. I don't care. But we'll just save that for a moment. All right, Thomas is ready to go. Darren says hello. Howard says, let's go, Red Wings. And I don't know. I think I was going against him, but let's see. Let's get into the show, and we're going to lead it off with the National Hockey League today. I hope that's okay with everybody. There we go. The Tampa Bay Lightning will take on the Montreal Canadiens in NHL action for Tuesday night. The Lightning on the road here, a favorite against my hot Canadians. What's going on here? Haven't they been watching what's going on with the Habs currently? We're all excited right now in Montreal. I mean, this is, a good start for us is like, 2-3. And here's Montreal all of a sudden looking pretty decent so far after a few games. I mean, we're not running to the window or anything, but 5-4-2 so far. Tampa Bay is kind of off to the same start, 5-3-4 record. These teams been trending over a little bit so far, combined 12-9-2 to the over so far this season between the two teams. And let's maybe make sure we got the goalie situation here. I think we really, for this card, saw more goalies confirmed or, at least likely probable here. Yeah, Howard, I'll talk about it. Maybe we get to college basketball. All right. So for me in this one, I think the goalies, if anything, Tampa Bay's kind of mixed it up a little bit or had some, I want to say not a late change, but anyways, maybe Tompkins, maybe Allen are the guys here, unconfirmed at this point, but I'm going to take Montreal. There has been reported steam come in on Montreal already this morning. Only a couple games have really seen any movement, and especially on sides as far as significant movement, and Montreal is one of them. In fact, I think this line might actually be a little bit unfair, and if I'm going to take Montreal, I better get us the right line because I believe the steam was significant enough to probably put Montreal at a bit of a less bargain here. Well, Tampa Bay maybe down to $1.40 or so. I'll call it $1.35. Maybe the action will still keep coming in on Montreal. I don't know if this is, totally real with Montreal. I mean, I still feel like it's going to be quite a struggle just to snip the playoffs, but at this point. Pretty happy. Bobby wants a lock. Hopefully, somebody will give us one. I like Montreal here. I'll take them on the money line. Puck line's too high at $2. Could do a little puck line if you want, but and if anything, if I was, like I said, these teams have trended to the over just a little bit. Maybe that'd be the direction that I would lean as well. But for me, I'm going to take Montreal here. Louis, thank you always. Nice to see you. The Buffalo Sabres will take on the Carolina Hurricanes. NHL action for Tuesday. Carolina here a big, $2 favorite or so, in the total 6.5 over at minus 125. And Carolina 7-5 right now on the season. Pretty okay start for Carolina right now. Buffalo, 6-6, not too bad. Look, I've talked up Devon Levi here. Certainly is a goaltender that I'm, looking to get on in some situations. Certainly, and this is probably going to be one of them at this price, especially with this puck line here at minus $1.45 or so. I think that's something. Maybe even it's $1.50. I think that's something that I can get behind. I should do this before the show. Make sure we got power. All right. I'm going to look to take Buffalo here. I'll take them on the puck line at plus a 1.5 minus about $1.50 or so for me here. Look, on the puck line so far this season, Buffalo as a puck line underdog is 6-1. The Hurricanes as a puck line favorite are 3-7. I'm not too worried about even at $1.50 here. I think it's a pretty great price. Buffalo's covered the puck line every time on the road so far, 5-0 on the puck line on the road. So I'm going to take Buffalo Sabres here plus 1.5. Thanks, Thomas. Apparently, I don't make everybody laugh. So, they're trying to cut out the funnies. The Minnesota Wild are going to take on the New York Islanders. NHL action here for Tuesday night with the Wild on the road here. An underdog, certainly, right now. The Islanders, 5 wins so far this season, a couple of losses, and they've been involved in 3 extra sessions with points. In Minnesota here, 4-5-2, but they've been a big time over so far this season. But tell you what, the steam came in on the under in this one. I mean, it looks pretty solid. Problem is, we're probably going to be dealing with a 6 here. It does seem crazy that the Sharps, those crazy Sharps, they're just looking at numbers, apparently. And they don't care that the Wild are the biggest over team in the league, I think, so far this season. They smashed this game under already. And for a team that's gone, over, we're seeing now. We did even see DraftKings open this game at 5.5 over minus 118, which is, like I said, it's interesting because the Wild are certainly, playing to overs big time. The Wild. The Islanders aren't. They're 4-6. 6 unders in 10 games so far for the Islanders, but I actually trust this steam. It's a little bit uncomfortable considering, reading off those statistics to you, but this thing's definitely, I don't know, it could even go to 5.5. So, like I said, I tend to believe the Sharps here on this move. Tough. I mean, I can't throw out any trends necessarily right now that would say take the under. I'm pretty much trusting the market here. I mean, anybody can look at it and just say, wow, let's Now it's going 6 under 20, maybe even 5.5 over 25 or something. Let's just take the over here. But the contrast of and Varlamov maybe also part of it. And I don't know for Fleury at this point. Let me make sure on the goalie, or at least make sure this is the best situation. Fleury's confirmed in goalie here today. So I mean that also may be a bit of a factor here because Fleury 2-2-1 with a 2.82 goals against, 89% save percentage so far this season. He actually came in the game last time. You don't see him uh, come in relief very often, but uh, he ended up making 13 saves against the Rangers in that game. So, if anything, this has been kind of a slow start for Fleury here, but maybe this will be the day. And I'm going under. I guess I could just make that my play. I guess any value is gone. Here's the thing, and I always, talk a lot of smack when it goes from my way. Oh, the sharps are buying it down. Well, that just gives us squares a great price. Well, I'm not calling anybody square, but you're getting a pretty good price on the over with a Wild team that's gone over in 9 of 11 games so far. Hello to Ramsey today. And Vexen Organization 12 is here today as well. Yeah. Bobby likes the NBA, but like we said, we're taking the day off from the NBA, and that, until further notice, is going to be what we do on Election Day. Couple of plays here on the Islanders in this one. Salty says only one goal allowed for Fleury on that night, and who knows? Fleury's not young anymore, right? But he still can. I would feel like let's have an effort tonight. I'm going under here, and I don't know. Kind of maybe gonna like the price here a little bit on the Wild. I would think. Good morning to Frederick. Was thinking. I don't know. We don't have a big presence, and I see Frederick hashtag TS. We could do hashtag Team Steam to communicate on social media a little bit, but I don't know. We wouldn't have that big of a. We've got our Discord. Join us in the Discord. Stats, picks. I try to put any pertinent late breaking injuries. If I don't get to it, doesn't mean I didn't. I just wasn't around, or it's only me. But Red Wings and Rangers NHL action here for Tuesday night. Detroit on the road, and we got. I don't know if Quick is going to be in there. Really? Maybe Quick will be in there in this one right now. Husso is confirmed in goal for the Red Wings in this one, and a pretty good matchup right now, I would say, considering the start that the Red Wings have had. Certainly with their 7-4-1 record, the Rangers come in 8-2-1. This could be a nice game today, no doubt about it. Rangers might look a little high there as far as the price is concerned, but as impressed as I am with this Rangers start, this game might be a little bit tougher for them. I mean, what's the Rangers? Can we get some plus money on this puck line? I guess I could just lay the money line with the Rangers here. That feels fair to me. It's even down to $1.48 right now at some spots. So I'm going to say not the luck runs out or anything. I just think this is a really good game, and I think that the Rangers will be ready for it, even if it is, Quick in there today, no problem. Instead of Igor. So I would think that either way, to me the spot lines up for an under. I don't know how I can get there necessarily if Quick is. Look, I mean, I love Jonathan Quick. Don't get me wrong, but Is Fernando going under in this game? Yes, yes, he is. Thomas might use the Rangers one way or another. Right? Is that what it was, Salty? Is that what it was? Okay, well, so they were both. Okay, I am going to take the Rangers here in this one. Good, like I said, great matchup. And look at these records. Feature matchup here tonight. And I had put puck line down because of price. I thought at a plus $1.50 or better is pretty good, and that's what it looks like it is. So I would think that's really funny, Salty. I don't know why if I missed that or if I just didn't see it right. All right, here. So, all right, give me the Rangers tonight against the Red Wings. The Winnipeg Jets will take on the St. Louis Blues. This is NHL action for Tuesday. The Jets here on the road. Going to be a road favorite here against uh, Bennington, I guess, expected to be in there. And Hellebuck for the Jets. So Jets come in. These teams have similar records right now. So it looks like what's going on here when you look at this game with Winnipeg and St. Louis. Yeah, is Winnipeg the better team maybe right now? Recognized a little bit stronger team, probably so, but enough to be a road favorite here against a St. Louis team that they're playing some pretty. They're not scoring, but they're also able to play some defense. They've gone under in 8 of 10 games so far this season. Have the Blues, and we haven't seen much action from Sharps. I don't think in this game. I don't know. Maybe they're not interested, but maybe the move is to Winnipeg. I saw them as low as $1.18 here. Let me peek at something here. Maybe something did come in since we. I thought I saw something come in since we started the show. No, nope. It was in a different game that we're going to preview coming up. So, okay, let's see. Here comes Vexen wants to go with the Jets here. If this one goes any lower, I'm ready to come in on the over. I think if it's at 6 flat right now. Tickets seem to be running pretty heavy on the under. Hmm. All right, let me check on the Hellebuck and Bennington situation here because I don't know. St. Louis feels like it. Yeah, no, both goalies unconfirmed here at this point this morning, but all right. Uh, I don't know. These teams seem to be playing pretty similar at this point. I'd almost be interested in wanting to take the Blues here at home. I don't know if we're seeing any, that the Jets are the Blues. No, they're probably the same as last year. The Jets maybe not showing what they did quite last year. Yeah, I think that's what is going on right now. So let's go ahead and take the Blues at home in this one. Feels like a more even matchup than in what is indicated there on the odds. Fernando will lead the Jets also. And wrong Jets, says Salty Fly Guy, not last night's Jets. So let's try this night's Jets. And looks like I'm on the other side here with the Blues. And like I said, 8-2, 8 unders so far for the Blues in 10 games. Nashville Predators, Calgary Flames NHL action here. This one is for Tuesday. Got Nashville here. Going to be a little bit of a road dog. against Calgary. I'm showing here about $1.25, maybe even $1.30 in this one. And the total here is about 620 maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, definitely. It looks like Calgary maybe even sneaking up to about $1.30 or so far. It's been a disappointing start for Calgary, or is this what we're going to see from Calgary right now? Why have the Alberta teams fallen so quickly here this season? This has not been good. 3-7-1 start. Nashville, maybe a disappointing start as well. Currently at just 5-6. But I don't know. They feel certainly like they played a little bit better. Um, but I don't know. Calgary needs a win so bad. These are the teams I'm getting. I'm trying to hold on to last year. It's starting to feel like maybe too long. But I've got to think Calgary. I got to think this has to be the spot for Calgary. I'm going to bump up the line here. I see $1.31 at some spots, so I'm going to put $1.35. Make sure we get the best. You know, go in there with a little bit of confidence here with this line going to the window because I'm going to take the favorite here, uh, despite this poor record right now, and trust that Calgary, who is in need of turning this around somewhere. I mean, I'm move them near the bottom here at this point. I mean, only the sorry Sharks are probably below them at this point. But Nashville, it's been a rough or mediocre start, certainly for Nashville right now at a 5-6 record. So give me the Flames in this one to turn it around a little bit, or at least try to pick up a victory here. Lingowick says take the Predators. And this might not be the best game on the card, Ferner. Well, the Seattle Kraken, they're going to take on this year's Seattle Kraken. Well, I don't know what they are. They're the Arizona Coyotes, and they're a pick 'em tonight. If anything, we can say about, Arizona's decent start, good start for Arizona, is that the odds makers seem to have caught up with them quite early. I was already surprised at the beginning of the season they were talked up as such a improved side, and they've lived up to that billing actually. With the five, they have a better record than Seattle coming in here, so they've been quite good so far, and it feels like this is going to be a decent spot for them here as well. This price, I'm sure, is let's see here, because they could even be considered a bit of more of a favorite than this. It's I'm going to say it is still a pick 'em in pretty much everywhere if you just take a scan across the board. Uh, Pretty wide. Now the total definitely is going under here. I could almost add some to the juice here, it looks like. I mean, 620, 625 now at some spots. So the move here is definitely on the under. The reported Steam, this was the game I mentioned. Let me see what time that was. Steam came rolling in here. Just 1 minute. Well, I can't start right at the top of the hour, but right when I was prepping for the show, to, clicking all the boxes that you're supposed to do and all that, the steam came in on the under in this game. So you're laying some pretty nifty juice here now, I think. Oh, sorry about that. Let me show. Let me put it at 6.5 under 20. I'm seeing a 6 over even right now. So let me put that up there. It is 6 over 25, but this has been a significant move to the under, and I pretty sure I was on the under already, unfortunately. Oh, I'm going to give out Calgary. I mean, Calgary. Arizona. No, let me look one more time. Give exactly the one that I prefer here, in this one. Okay, I'll. Yeah, I'll go under here, especially. Let me see what book I just quoted there with that six. Bovada has already moved to a six flat. Bovada's already moved to a six flat. Can you this thing? I mean, this thing has taken a dive. Well, I can't give it out as a premium. I do like the under. I guess it's going to have to be a 5 goal game or less here now. There are 6.5s out there. I'm just going to put it at six, but this one seems to be a fast mover here today, and I'm showing the sharps. I mean, the alerts have come in. I mean, I've seen at least 5 moves come in here on the Kraken and the Coyotes, and the bigger the juice gets, the less of a play it is, less of a good play it is. But I'm taking under. What you know? What the Coyotes say, Fernando? Ho 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 ho! All right, Nathan. What happened here? How did we get two free? Hello, Joe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so happy with this Coyote. I mean, I'm just happy for them. Happy for them. What is it? Is that the coyote noise, Fernando? All right, the New Jersey Devils going to take on the Colorado Avalanche. NHL action here for Tuesday. Real nice game here with the Avalanche. Yeah, the big favorite, no doubt. $1.75, 6.5, under 15. Yeah, we could even maybe call it 6.5 under 20 right now. Vanacek and Gurjev here in this one. Got an Avalanche team uh, coming in right now. 7-3. The Devils, they're 7-3, 7-3-1. So I mean, the Devils have been playing very, very well so far. Interestingly, on the puck line, they've been quite bad. So it's almost as if I don't know. This to me, it looks like a good start, but if you really look at the betting, and again, puck line is we know it can be different team, different and things happen, but um, they haven't covered a lot of puck lines in their wins, and they've been a dog in some too. So tough to say there. Let me look. I'm even going to look at it as we discuss it here. The numbers for these two teams. I don't know if the puck line is going to be even worth it necessarily. I mean, you got virtually the opposite odds here with the New Jersey at plus 1.5, and the total, of course, is not 20. What did I just do? 6.5 under 20. There we go. That's the problem. So Devils and Avalanche 6.5 under 20 here in this one. New Jersey, they're the most automatic over right now in the league in 11 games so far. The Devils have gone over, but it doesn't feel like that's where we would be headed tonight, does it? Against Colorado on the road, peek at something here because uh, maybe it's going to be popular. In fact, I've seen it get steamed a couple of times already. Not widely reported steam just yet. Just some subtle movement. Now there was buyback certainly on the under quickly, and that move looks better to me, quite frankly. And you have a 6.5 there, so I think that maybe the public could be interested in the over here eventually, but I'm not. I don't think I want to, even with a 9-1-1 trend here. I've got Gurjev in a home game, two good teams. Is this really going to be uh, more of you know, a game that could see 7 or more goals? That doesn't feel like it is to me. Hello, Woody Tamora. It's very nice to have you here today. Pleasure to meet you. I don't think I've had the pleasure. So thank you for coming in. He needs a plus 300 today. Wow, I don't know if I have. Hmm. Well, maybe I'll look into a college football money line or something. I'll see what I can do, Woody. Or I guess a parlay would always work. All right. For me, I'm going to go under in this game. I think that maybe if anything, maybe that record that record Peasy says the last two have gone under. Okay. Um, and maybe look, trying to give some good statistics. Watch a lot of games, right? But just you know, I don't stick to the numbers. Otherwise, I'd end up on the same sides and totals. It feels like every game. The odds makers aren't that wrong. I'm trying to deduct in my mind what would happen when the Devils take on the Avalanche tonight. Let me look at those two games here real quick. Okay, yeah, there were some 6.5s certainly in that Blackhawks game. Even if it was a push, it still was felt more like an under in that game with 4-2. And the way that game went, and the game against the Blues was 4-1, so maybe things are getting a little bit more in control. There's been no real ridiculous. I mean, 8, 9. There's an 8. There's a 9. There's a 10. I see them all. And the average goals is 7.5 for the Devils games so far. But no doubt, the Avalanche games average 6 goals, 6 goals a game, and their home games 6.4. Devils on the road 7.0. I've got Gurdjieff. I hope. Not confirmed. I don't think, and I'm not basing on that. I think the spot of the Devils coming in to face the Avalanche has me on the under. All right. I got to cut these down. Man, I could talk about these games forever. I love it. They say I mess up the algorithm. Well, you know what? The algorithm, how many winners did the algorithm have? All right. Here comes the Penguins and the Ducks NHL action for Tuesday night. And hey, this is a good game between a couple of Quacker teams here, the Penguins and the Ducks, on a pond, on a frozen pond, nonetheless. All right, here in this one, look, this is, say what you will, and even about that last game, I could go on and on against what Anaheim is doing right now. This is totally exciting, and they're 7-4 currently. They're covering puck lines as well as an underdog, doing a great job. They're the team coming in 7-4 here, while the Penguins are a measly 6-5. They're still the Penguins. I get it. They're $1.50 something on the. Forget about it. Come on. I know I'm sticking with maybe too many of these teams from last year or whatever. Not here. I want the Ducks. I want them on the money line. Worried about Pittsburgh actually defensively here in this game. I think this one could, we could see 7 goals for sure here in this one. I like the Ducks to win. Darren likes them too. He's got all of his plays up here, including the Ducks money line. So thank you for your card, Darren. Fernando wants the Devils. Oops, wrong, the other game. Sorry about that. Always bummed when I mess it up. All right. Well, I'll do it. I'm taking the Ducks here to win this one. The puck line does not. I don't think it interests me. I think it's $1.80, $1.90 or so. Yeah, $1.75. That's not terrible. It's always going to be pretty relative. Here, give me the Ducks, and I would think, what is it? 6.5 over. I'll leave it at that. I'm not picking the over here, but look out. It might be 7 soon. It's 6.5 over 28 in a pretty sharp offshore book. So, and I think for me right now, this looks like the Ducks in a high scoring game. All right, it's time to get some counseling here. and see what we're going to do about this situation. Because I mean, what do we do? Does the league have to step in here a little bit today? Do they have to, uh, appoint a general manager, a coach, something here to try to fix this situation with the Sharks? Because at once is a there's an old saying that I don't know what is one is a two is a pattern, three is a trend, whatever. Two two 8-0, get 9-1, 10 to whatever it was. That doesn't look like a coincidence. And we already saw some bad performances earlier in the season. Are we looking at a historically bad team here with the Sharks? They haven't won yet, and they're losing by unprecedented margins, especially in today's game, in today's style of league. Now, here's the funny thing about it: the whoever these sharps are that I don't know, that nobody knows, that everybody talks about, they're the ones kind of keeping the price down on this one at $1.85 for Philadelphia. Puck line here, plus money with the Flyers on the puck line. Now, this is a situation. If they didn't lose the last two games, I promise you, this is how I do things. If I didn't watch the games, if I didn't say I don't know what's going on, I don't understand hockey, and I've watched hockey since I was a kid. I don't understand what's going on even in today. You don't play the sport. I mean, I know what's going on. I know the stats, the trends, the bets, whatever. But there are inner workings of hockey. I'm sure that even I'm not probably too adept with. So if a team is totally broken here, why are these so-called sharps willing to keep? Or am I wrong? Why isn't Philly 225 here today? I mean, it's Philly. I know they're terrible, and they might be starting Urson in goal here, who has actually been he's been okay actually, right? So I'm going to take the Flyers on the puck line. My computer is blowing up. Shark. Did you take the Sharks? Oh, this is the best spot for the Sharks. I mean, maybe these are the ones that I'm missing on. Maybe tonight's the night for the Shark. I can't do that. I'm laying the puck line here with the Flyers. Figure even the Flyers can take a puck line on the Sharks right now. They did lose a game a few. Was it? They lost a game by only one goal. Lingowick, thank you. He likes the game to go over here tonight. I wasn't sure. Yeah, they're already done. Well, I know, right? It's it's not so much. It's scary though, right? I mean, no team should be this bad here, and then it's not like the Sharks have done anything to make their team right. It doesn't seem like it to me. The Sharks have done anything to try to improve their team or anything like that. So I'm going to give the Sharps. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, um, I've already seen. Sure, Joe. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you say when the night comes, they'll crush it. Yeah, you got to get it right. There's no way that I don't. I predict the Sharks will not go 80-1 this season, but it's a matter of getting that game right. And you know, to invest all this money in this computer equipment, programs, uh, time and effort, and the thing tells me to take the Sharks, and I'm just saying, forget it, computer. You aren't watching the games. So give me the Flyers today. One more time. I'm not one of those. We'll just fade them until we lose or whatever. But this is bad of epic proportion right now. That I don't think I am overemphasizing right now, just because of those two losses. Not to mention all the other losses so far. Where was that one goal game? Oh, it was the opening game of the season. Wow, how time flies. Every time since then, the Flyers have lost by more than two goals every game, except for the first game of the season against the Avalanche, which was 2-1, by the way. And of course, last two games have been outscored 20 goals to 3 at home to the Penguins and the Canucks. Joe might do it. And, I guess if I was super wise guy, I'd do it too. I can't come on here in my own, I love to be that guy. I even, when I go against you guys, I kind of sheepishly say, "Oh, I'll go against you guys. I'll take the other team." This one be like, "I'm going with the Sharks." No, I'm going with the Flyers here. All right, that's NHL. Thank you, guys. I enjoy those games tonight on the ice. That's our featured coverage. I mean, I would think NHL tonight with no NBA on Tuesday night. We'll turn our attention to college basketball. I'm going to look at two games today, and if you have any, games you want, I'll make picks. I think I can make picks on the fly. I have all my information here. There's no data points, as people might say, and even I'm waiting to go with any premiums to see one game, for at least from last night. I didn't have any premiums in college basketball last night. It was border. I mean, it felt to me it was either like 10 picks or no picks with such a huge card. Just maybe wanted to balance out, see where all my numbers, and it felt pretty good. Look, we had some okay picks. The Discord was kind of like the highest level of beta, and the videos that we had yesterday, those felt like my top plays. They were okay. They were decent. We had so as we could begin our college basketball coverage here a little bit and talk about last night, did have some winners in there, including the game that was mentioned. I'm not going to scroll back, so I apologize. Someone mentioned Madison. Maybe Madison was the surprise winner. The story of the day yesterday, as far as college basketball, we gave out Madison in the Discord, and it was funny that Michigan State got all into, Madison kind of got into foul trouble. Michigan State, nothing went their way. That people were hammering Michigan State at halftime, even, and Madison still got the win on the road. So that was one we had. Thank you, Perk. Nice to see you as always. And how come you don't want to call it the play like I wanted to call it, Dr. Perk? I thought we had a good nickname for the play that even I was willing to go with here on our show. But seems like you balked on it. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your Ohio Bobcats. We'll look at college football in just a moment. Rodney said, okay, Heaton, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney. That's our coverage of yesterday's games. But again, I gave out in the Discord James Madison yesterday there. All right, Perky. Well, you don't have to do this because I'm pressuring you. I just thought the theme, fit your theme. All right. Okay, I've got two games. So if you guys have any college basketball out of these games, even the added board here, the extra board, I'm willing to, I think, to go out. I have my numbers. Okay. Got my KenPom subscription. They make me, the home office makes me get KenPom. I mean, I use KenPom anyways, but I also like to look at Sagarin. I like to look at Massey, and then I'd like to look at my numbers and home spin it all into, because that's what college basketball is all about. And when I talked about yesterday's college basketball, I mean, I'm talking about some real action. I wasn't just watching the card. Look at all those W's. I mean, I'm ready to go. All right. So I think I'm ready. Those I could have just made these could have been made up all those W's right there on that page there at the bottom of the West Coast action. Maybe I just did this as a prop before the show, and I wasn't tracking all my plays just for effect. There are some L's in there. And Jerry talking about the Aztecs last night. They did the job. I'd say the prediction wasn't right from me as far as what I was expecting from the game. Uh, they were slow in the first. They did not come to play in the first half. They were too, they got caught up in a little bit of pregame. I watched that one, of course, and they, with their great run last year, pregame hype was pretty over the top for a team that didn't win the championship. No problem. I mean, last season was incredible for San Diego State, and it should be again. I have just a tiny bit of concern about the mentality of the team. Yesterday, off the slow start, Joe Musgrove, he did the "I believe" chant. Let's get into a few games here today. We've seen some movement on these here. These are the two that I've selected because they're the televised, maybe the main televised games. There's a couple of others that are a little bit mainstream, but a little bit blowout too. Like and Lemoyne, we're going to see Lemoyne we saw him in an exhibition, but we're going to see him in action here for the first time as a D1 against Georgetown. So go Dolphins today against Georgetown. That's not the pick. I just wanted to say the Lemoyne Dolphins new entry today going. So Stony Brook, they're no new entry, and neither. Well, they are a little bit actually from a while ago, but St. John's here. They've been around since. Well, I'd go back to Lou Carnesecca, but anyways, St. John's here, pretty big favorite, and this total has been on the move much higher. I would imagine that might even be higher than this by now. It looks like a move that I can get behind today, and I would think this game is probably headed over. I don't know, what is it now? 145, 146. Could I just keep talking it up here like that show on that other YouTube channel where the guy announces the game and then the line starts moving? And then we all watch it on the screen together, and everybody's like, stop, make it stop. Anyway, the total here is up to 146 and a half. I'll call it 147. It's a free play here on the game today between Stony Brook and St. John's in this one. Action heavy from Sharps, and it's all been on the over thus far. And, well, in college basketball, you're going to see me tailing a little bit of sharp action, steam chasing a little bit, but looking what happened yesterday on some of the numbers, some of the moves, they were pretty darn sharp yesterday. I mean, I follow the line services and whatnot, and they had a pretty good. Most of it came in pretty strong. I mean, the heaviest steam was close to 58%. I'm generalizing, but I mean, I tracked pretty much all the moves, but it had to be, determined by me to be official move. I'm the official determiner. Anyways, all right. Yeah, Jerry said it right there. Jerry had already typed in the game to ask, and that was the game that let's go to Darren's game next. Wait a minute, Darren. Oh, darn it. All right, there it is. 517, 518, Presby and Bandy. Let's get to Darren's comment and see what I have here. And you're not going to get a lot of, I didn't, have type, believe it or not, I write out a bunch of notes for these games, and half of them I leave on the cutting room floor. I don't know how I keep doing that every time, but, that I got to stop doing. That's why I end up talking so much. Don't write a script. I mean, Tony has a real script. I've got a bunch of chicken scratch notes. but maybe I should just go without notes and I won't talk for so long. Let me help. Let me get Darren here. See what I think in this one. Uh, Darren says he likes Vandy, and okay, Darren, I'll let you make the pick here on Vandy. I'll let Darren. I'll pick the total here if you know what I mean, Darren. I don't know. How many points can I get? Look, I'm going to want a few more points. I'm interested in Presbyterian here in this one. Can Vandy truly find the motivation here, and do they have the scoring necessarily here to take this one? What's the total here? I was going to give the total, so it's going to be Darren and me, unless you're looking for a total confirmation, Darren, that you were about. I don't want to talk you off your play here to tell you, but let me see if I was interested. The total is at 136 currently. All right, Darren. You know what? I don't know if I have anything on the total yet. I'm gonna either take a challenge, and if I talk you off this, I'm gonna feel bad. I'm on Presby here in this one, taking these points, and if I'm only getting 17 and a half, so be it. Uh, Yeah, 17 and a half looks fine. There are 18s. There are even, I'm showing the book just 10 minutes from me here at 19, but the book downtown has 17 and a half. That's the sharpest book in Vegas. So, yeah, Darren, we just talked about that one, but just back it up. I gave out the total, right? Is what you're saying. Do I like the side with what do I like the side with St. John's and Stony Brook? I think what I was. Let me take a look here because what I was saying was maybe for me, I'm giving out the total. Maybe I didn't have an opinion on the side. Let me see here as I take a look at a little bit of early action because the line certainly has 18s and 18 and a halves pretty much is what we're looking at in that game. We're kind of backing up here to it, and I know they're going to be mad at me back at headquarters. Um, I think it's yeah. I'd lay it. I'm preferring to lay it. The action's a little heavy. That's what um, is coming in. I mean, it looks like it's all St. John's and all on the over so far, but not very. It's not very sharp on St. John's. But like I said, there is 18 and a half is the biggest line. How about I do it? I'll go St. John's. Darren asks, so St. John's an over for me there. All right, Darren. Just tell me where I need to send the Starbucks or whatever here. Um, whatever the wherever are you in the I'm trying to remember, Darren, are you also in the Baltimore area? I'm trying to remember. All right, I've got one more game to look at here, and you guys can come up with a few more suggestions if you'd like, and maybe Darren and I can find a game we're going to agree on. We've agreed on plenty, haven't we, Darren? Baylor and Auburn. I say Baylor versus Auburn here, if you notice. Um, and we are seeing a bit of a move here. In fact, I'm showing Auburn moving to a favorite at one particular book currently. The biggest name in online books in the country has moved Auburn to a 1 point favorite. I've got to call it at least a pick 'em here. Can't get away with calling Auburn a favorite anymore. There's definitely been a move here to uh, to the Tigers in this one where Baylor was favored originally. Now, like I said, Baylor versus Auburn. So this one is being played in that college hotbed of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And I'm not kidding, actually. They're playing this one at the Pentagon, uh, not in Washington, D.C. This is the Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where they play a lot of Division One games, mostly involving teams from that region, from South Dakota, from North Dakota. They play their little tournament in there now. They get all four teams, I think, together and play a little tournament. It's a wonderful building. I mean, it is like there are sight lines, there are balconies. It is like a cool place to go. I've never been there, but if you've ever seen it, really cool. And they'll play. Baylor played there last year, as a matter of fact. So they're making the trip back to play here. And there's going to be a couple more games here involving some teams next week, and then one more in, I think, December. So it's an attraction and a good reason to go to Sioux Falls and check out everything that they have to offer. So, anyways, good game here, no doubt. This one goes off at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific in this one. So, I don't know how that move came in. I better analyze it here because it came in, as we were already on the air. I was already kind of feeling the Baylor here, but maybe I better look into that move a little bit. I thought, Baylor might be the side, and if anything, I'm getting a better price, but I do like the under in this game, and I don't think. Let me see right now, 140. Oh boy, we're getting a nice price. This one's gone up here to as high as 145, and well, I don't know if it's sharp or square necessarily. I'm showing just as many moves on the under as I am on the over, and no widely reported steam, I don't think, yet here on the total. So I'm going to end up taking the under here in this game at 145. Let's see what we have in the first game of the season with these two. This is nearly the highest number. It was as high as 145 and a half, I think. And right now, I'm just showing a movement here, more big time move to the over right now. It's getting steamed. Right now, as we speak, this is why we're on the air. I'm not making this up. Anybody can back me up by going to their screen right now to make sure that Ramon's just not being some overly dramatic wannabe YouTube host. This thing's hit 147 and a half right now at Bet Online, 147 at Circa, 146 and a half at the South Point down the street here, 146 and a half at Stations just over here south of me in Green Valley. Those are the books. I follow South Point, I follow Stations, I follow Circa. Those are the Vegas books that I follow because those are the ones that I have the app for and that I patronize. So this one is on the move. We're getting even better value here right now. I could move the line up on screen. It'd probably be a disservice if I didn't, but I'll grade myself at 145. This one's getting steamed to the over, and from what I think about these teams, I'm not sure we're getting to 140 into the mid 140s here. DraftKings 147 and a half now. This one's flying up. So good for me. I'm taking the under. I don't know about neutral site if that has anything to do with it. This. Isn't like they're playing in even though it's Baylor versus it could be in a Vegas arena type of thing where you'd be like, oh, a bigger arena. I mean, these two teams play in pretty big arenas. This is a much smaller arena than they're used to. This is a small arena. It's just very intimate and beautiful and well thought out design. Just a great place to watch a game. Not really anything crazy with sight lines. In fact, it kind of looks like a mini. I don't want to compare it to Indiana, but it's a real intimate setting, a real cool place. So I don't know. Maybe that's worked, into this, but this total's flying right now higher. And well, the tickets are flying. The tickets are running all to the over. There's been enough sharp action on the under, and I'm taking under. All right, unless you've got any other college basketball questions, I'm going to start with my college football coverage. So I want to thank everyone. If you were just here for today's games, appreciate you very much. If you got any more college basketball, now would be the moment. There are some other nice games. Maybe I could report to you a little bit of steam coming in right now. Cal Irvine, San Jose State. The screen is lit up here on the under right now. What was as high as 132 and a half. or so in a general opener. Circa had a mistake, I believe, on their board, but this one's down to 129 and a half here in this one. Other moves maybe we could talk about today. They hit on Maryland. They hit on North Dakota, Iowa over. They hit on Northern Iowa. I'm talking about widely reported steam here. Also, they played Irvine and under. They took Nevada and over. They took Presby as I did, and they took Creighton. Those are some widely reported steam moves uh, from the most widely reported line service in the country, in my estimation. All right, thank you, Darren. I'm moving on to college football now, and we'll be here for a few minutes. I'm going to talk about early games. Oh, big mistake. Okay, sorry about that. We've got 3 games in college football tonight, and I'm ready to roll with them, you guys. You guys should be cracking on me on that. Then we'll preview some games for Saturdays. We've got a little bit of time to spend with you here. I'm sorry, boss, but I've got to help. I've got to be with my fam here. All right, we got some action here tonight. Let me make sure. Well, I guess I'll just stay with this. Do I got the order right on the games here tonight? I know there was one time change, so just make sure I have. I'll just start with this one: Ball State and Northern Illinois. Yeah. This is the one time, or this is a 4 p.m. start, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, with Ball State and Northern Illinois tonight in action. That was where I almost messed up. All right. In this one, you see Northern Illinois here, a double digit favorite in this one, or close to a double digit favorite. Let's call it 9 right now. Coming in here tonight, you have Ball State. It's been a real rough season, obviously, with their 2-7 record coming in, 1-4 in the MAC here. But I don't know, getting 9 points. It was as high as 10. Northern Illinois, they're 4-5 and 3-2. They've won, I believe, 3 straight right now. So things are looking up for the Huskies, but feels like too many points in a conference game to a certain extent. And that total here was as high as 44 and a half. And now when you look at this total down here to 44. Okay, I know that it got as low as 42. I don't think we're ever in line for that, and I might have to call it 44 right now because I think if anything, I kind of lean over here myself. So, uh, Perky says NIU looked abysmal last week, and he will not be playing them in this one. Let me take a look at that. Okay. Yeah, it was 37-31 in that upset by Central Michigan. So, apologize there for that. Thank you, Perky. I think I said they won 3 straight. They had won 3 straight before that game. You're right. Thank you very much. Hey, appreciate it, Perky, there for getting me there. Not correct. You might have just been commenting, but that caught my attention because I know that they had won 3 straight. Yeah, they lost to Central Michigan as a 6-point favorite in that game last week. So I've already was leaning to Ball State in this one. Look, it's been rough. It's been a rough season. Their only win is against Central, 24-17. But for that 2-4 record, they have covered a few spreads as an underdog. They're 4-4-1 overall against the spread. So, yeah, they're probably going to end up right there in range. But in this MAC game, 44 points. I mean, near double digits going to look pretty attractive to me. I'm probably going to be more interested in taking Ball State here. They've held their last four opponents to under 300 total yards in those games, and their conference losses, they did lose by 7. They lost by 3. They lost by 14. So two of those would have been covers. They're having issues certainly at quarterback this season. They've tried two or three different guys in there so far, but Cardinals always pretty decent against the spread in conference. And just to point out the most glaring trend in this game that really is one that has me still wanting to consider Ball State despite their horrible record, is that Northern Illinois has failed to cover in 7 straight games at home as a home favorite. 0-7 their last 7 games as a home favorite, including twice already this season. So let me Ball in this one, not to Ball to get the money. With that. Northern Illinois, look, like I said, that 3-game winning streak. I don't remember I thought we were on Central actually last week. Trying to remember, but Ball has won also. They used to never beat these guys, and they had lost 10 straight, I think, before the pandemic. They've won 3 of the last 4. That might date back a little bit before the pandemic, but and the last 5 meetings between these two teams have all been decided by 8 points or less. And thanks, Ron. Nice to see you here today. Under and for the last 5 meetings between the two. I think this one could sneak over, but give me Ball. Give me Ball. Plus the points. Central Michigan, Western Michigan. It's action for Tuesday. And in this one, here's Central Michigan coming in with a 5-4 record, but just 3-6 so far against the spread against Western Michigan team that, they're 3-6, and typical. I don't know. It just seems like this is what happens with these teams. They're 6-3 against the spread. So can they win though here as a favorite against Central Michigan? I don't know. Feels like they can. Now the widely reported team. In fact, this one came in, I believe, just this morning on the over. In fact, I may need to make an update here on this one, because I think this one has actually crept up a little bit higher. Western Michigan has gone over in 6 of their 9 games this season, and they're averaging 26 points per game, but allowing 32.8. For Central Michigan coming in, like I said, 5-4. But the most interesting thing about it is that they play a lot of close games, and they're really good in those close games. They've gone 5-1 this season straight up in games decided by 7 points or less. But it has been a struggle on the road. They're just 1-4. They did beat South Alabama on the road 34-30, but they've lost conference games so far in the MAC. Like I said, they lost at Ball, and they lost at Buffalo 37-13, and a Buffalo team that has not been necessarily that Buffalo-y this season. Maybe they're a little bit down, if you know what I mean. So they are pretty good as a road dog, with McElwain 11-5 against the spread as a road underdog. And for Western Michigan, they come in 2-3 in conference right now. I'm probably going to trust them here if they're laying this field goal. They were laying 4. I believe it's gone down, to 3 here right now. And that total moving here, I'm showing 57 now at Bovada as it just sneaks up here a little bit. And like I said, let me see, what time was that steam move to the over here? Because I'm sure it was today. It was just as we were about to come on the air, about 10 or 15 minutes before airtime. It got steamed up from as low as 55 and a half to where it is now. I need to investigate further. I'm going to have to give out Western Michigan here. That move caught me by surprise. I actually was looking to go possibly under, but I'm going to respect the move right now until I get further information, and I will go with Western Michigan as a favorite. I did like Western Michigan. I think we can lay 3 here now. I'm seeing, in fact, Bet Online updating currently at -3, -112. DraftKings has just went to -3 flat and give me Western Michigan here at home to cover. If you want to take the money line, to be sure, these MAC games. I mean, it just reeks of, you know, underdog covers to a certain extent. I'm giving out a favorite here, no doubt. But when you see these MAC records of teams that are 3-6 straight up and 6-3 against the spread, one team's 5-4 but 3-6 against the spread, and that happens in this league. Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. Western Michigan, 6-3 ATS. That's the important bottom line. That's how we keep score, as they say. All right, one more game action tonight. Here with Ohio and Buffalo. Ohio on the road, pretty big favorite, of course. Ohio 6-3 overall this season, and of course in conference, it's been you know maybe not what they were expecting, given how well they started the season, and the hype surrounding their preseason, because they've ended up just 3-2, and now they're going up against a Buffalo team that, well, they're also 3-2 in MAC play. Ohio's lost 2 of their last 3 games after that 5-1 start. It's kind of hurt them spread wise too, because they're 3-5-1 against the spread. Should note they are 2-7 to the under so far this season. Are the Bobcats? This is a pretty low total though right now, 43 here in Buffalo. It's going to be 55 degrees, overcast, the wind about 12 miles an let me see. Let me correct that. 52 degrees, and the winds about 18 miles per hour tonight. So some brisk winds certainly there, but overcast in Buffalo tonight. For Buffalo, they've turned it around. I've just said moments ago they're not Buffalo-y because of that 0-4 start, but getting into conference play now, doing some better things. Yeah, they've had some stunners. They lost to Fordham at home this season, but things are getting a little bit better. I mean, look, the expectations may have been a little bit higher, or they obviously were. I mean, you have a quarterback who came back. I mean, the guy threw for 3,000 yards last season, and Buffalo just terrific as a home dog over the years. There was that little streak where they were favored by rolling some teams a little bit, but they are 13-5-1 against the spread as a home underdog in their last 19 games, although they did lose once as a home underdog so far this season. And this coach so far has not been very good in this role. 6-11 against the spread, coming off of a loss with Buffalo. So 5 straight games under the total for Buffalo after those 4 losses all went over. Now all the games are going under when they're more competitive. Is this total going low enough that I can, be on the over? Because to me, that's where I wanted to go. Windy conditions certainly tonight is of a concern, but at 43, oh man, that steam that came in last night has me worried now. Let me take a look here. One more check. And you guys got anything on this game that I'm missing here? Oh, of course. Here we go. Well, I can't go against Perky now. I actually was leaning Ohio the entire time, but this little Buffalo, this little streak, I think, if you will, had me kind of concerned. So, um, all right. Thank you, Perky. Maybe we just roll with Perky. Oh, he did buy it down to 4 points. So that kind of buy down certainly has got to be at $2. I would think, Perky, right? What is that? Oh, what is Ohio minus 4 points? Where I'm end up laying a lot of points. Maybe that's what I got to see here. Can I do? Is it something that I can do? And I mean, nothing I can do on the air here. I mean, yeah, a dollar. Yeah, it's probably about $2, right? But hey, you want to be right. You want to get it square, $1.70, and you got it before, so I appreciate that as always. All right. Well, I don't want to go against Perky here on the play of the day. And look, I see that some steam coming. Maybe it was based on these windy conditions here coming in, and maybe it is an undercall here. All right, under it is for me. I'm going to switch on the fly here after seeing some of. If Perky says Ohio's to me, I would think right under if Ohio. And I'll put the P for Perky on my notes. Okay. All right. That is finally a look at all the games for today. I'm sorry about that. That was almost embarrassing for a guy like me to forget that we had the match. I mean, I knew it was there. It's all queued up and ready. I was on the fly. I thought we were done. Maybe because no NBA. All right. So now I'm going to preview games here for college football on Saturday. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I know I need to end the show, but we got to make some videos too. College football action on Saturday. It's going to be heating up early with big noon kickoffs out east, 9 a.m. out west when Alabama takes on Kentucky here in Alabama, a 10.5 point road favorite against Kentucky. Have they not been watching this? No, look, Alabama is obviously on fire at this point. Uh, we'll see where they stand as the BCS playoffs continue to shake out. But Alabama is the team right now that has their stock on the rise, and there's no doubt about it. And everybody wanted to discount Alabama and Milroe. How was he benched in that Texas game? That didn't make any sense. It still doesn't today. You look at what Milroe has been doing here, and you just got to think that, uh, you know, Alabama in pretty good position here, but I don't know if I trust them against a team like Kentucky, the way Kentucky's been playing this season. Now, I don't know. Maybe expectations were even a little bit higher to a certain extent. Now, when you're Kentucky and you're 6-3, that's pretty good. But it does feel like maybe one got away that they should have had. And I don't know. Here, I think I'd prefer to end up taking the points with the Wildcats. I know everybody's hot on Alabama right now. We're all hot on Alabama, but the move has been on Kentucky. There's no doubt about it. This game opened as high as 12. It's down to 10.5 pretty much everywhere you look. The move has been on Kentucky. Alabama, they're 6-3 against the spread. That's actually pretty good, probably for Alabama, considering they're 8-1. No problem there. Kentucky actually just 5-4 so far against the spread. But I don't know. It does feel like in a Kentucky with a team that has some defense. I mean, they're allowing 22 points per game. Play tougher teams here in conference. Certainly, we understand that, but I'm going to grab the points. I'm taking Kentucky against Alabama. Thomas Lewis says, take the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Virginia Tech Hokies take on the Boston College Eagles. College football action here for Saturday. In this one, you got Virginia Tech on the road, favored here by 7.5. No, I'm sorry, by 2. Of course, Virginia Tech here by 2 in this one on the road at Boston College. All right, for Virginia Tech coming into this one, they come in with that current record. Let's see here. Did they move this game time on me and I don't know what I'm doing? Steam play. 133, 134. There we go. Might have to start this one over, you guys. Sorry about that. College football action for Saturday. Virginia Tech, a favorite here against Boston College. Virginia Tech on the road, a 2-point favorite. Boston College coming in 6-3 right now, 4-5 to the number currently. But for Boston College, not bad considering right now they come in here. They're averaging 27 points per game currently, 4-5 against the number. Should note Boston College 6-2 to the over so far this season. This line has been on the move here towards Virginia Tech. They're favored by 2 now. Boston College opened up a 4-point favorite, and I don't mind. I mean, maybe the situation, the way the teams have trended, the way Boston College has been going, it's been trending towards Virginia Tech, no doubt about it. You look at them coming in here as a favorite right now. That to me is what the surprise is coming in for Boston College. They had the game last week against Syracuse, an impressive performance, 17-10 victory on the road. Did the job. They're on this long winning streak right now. I mean, why the move here to Virginia Tech currently, given the way Boston College has currently been playing with this 5-game winning streak? So, I don't know. You look at there is some concerns for Boston College injury wise in the backfield. Certainly, their running back situation is a little bit dinged up, and a little bit on the offensive line as well. They do have some issues. They have lost a running back for the season announced this week, and they got a wide receiver that's out indefinitely. So you do have some injury concerns here, but there are also injury concerns with Virginia Tech coming in the defensive backfield, in the running back situation. Even a quarterback, Grant Wells, is listed as questionable with an injury here, and they've lost their tight end for the season. So, well, that was a long time ago, but I'm just thinking about the whole season now. But this week, certainly, some issues with at running back, at quarterback, at a wide receiver here. So I think I've got to take Boston College plus these points now with this winning streak. Thomas Lewis says he's going. Is this the game you're going to, or that last one, Thomas? So I'm going to take Boston College here. I'm getting points now. maybe I have missed something in this one, and why is that move so heavy to Virginia Tech? Look, I mean, there's no problem with Virginia Tech. The way things have been going for you know for them as well, right? They had, let's see, what did they do? They had the uh, I could throw out last week's game. I mean, uh, getting blown out like they did against Louisville, because before that they had beaten Syracuse at home, they'd beaten Wake Forest at home, and lost at FSU, beat Pittsburgh at home. Good games at home. Give me Boston College in this one. Enjoy that one, Thomas. Yeah, good game. And Boston, you're going the game. Let's take the home team. Let's take Boston College with the 5-game winning streak. Georgia Tech and Clemson college football action. This one is for Saturday. Got Georgia Tech here on the road in this one as an underdog, of course, to a Clemson team. They're cleaning it up a little bit, considering it's Clemson and expectations are higher and things weren't looking as good. And now all of a sudden, things aren't maybe as dire as we thought uh, currently. Yeah, I mean, you know, as have things passed Clemson by? Maybe is Clemson just 3-6 against the spread despite their 5-4 record? Yeah, that's an issue too. But here they are against Georgia Tech. They're going to be a 2 touchdown favorite. I figure they could probably uh, I don't know. Georgia Tech has done some good things, especially right now. They're on a little bit of a good streak, right? They walloped Virginia last week, 45-17, and of course they got the big win over North Carolina, 46-42, for a little 2-game winning streak here right now. But I think Clemson might be the team that's kind of on a roll to a certain extent. I mean, considering they're only 5-4, that's one thing. But they crushed Notre Dame in that game. Yeah, Notre Dame kept coming back there, but Clemson did get the win against the Notre Dame team that was, Notre Dame's covering every game in the ACC so far. Don't go so fast here. Uh, Clemson did, lose to NC State on the road. Of course, they lost to Miami. Maybe they've beaten some teams they should have beaten and lost to maybe one or two that maybe was going to be a tougher game. So I'm going to lay the points here with Clemson. Maybe I haven't learned my lesson just yet. And of course, I do not want to sit there and be laying, look, okay, you and your key numbers down there at 6 and 7 because it's only one score. I'm definitely going to be looking to get this off of 14 and get it below. There was look, it opened on Sunday at circa at 18, if I'm not mistaken, or at least it opened at circa at 18. Now nobody else opened it that high. Respect circa or not, maybe I am giving them respect with the pick of Clemson. I like Clemson to win this one. I'll take Clemson. I'll take Clemson by 3 scores. Thomas is on Georgia Tech, though. Well, what are you guys doing on Saturday at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific? What are your plans? The Michigan Wolverines will take on the Penn State Nittany Lions in one of the games of the year so far, and this will go a long way in helping determine the Final Four BCS teams. Uh, I don't know. Could both these teams still end up in the BCS? If Michigan were to get upset, would that cost them a spot in the BCS? Michigan's favored here on the road. 5.5. Wait a minute, 5.5. What happened? What happened to 2? What happened to 3? Now, we did see a number as high at one point as a juiced up 7 here with Michigan, but I don't know. We saw as low as uh, some look aheads as low as 3 in this one. So maybe it's settling here at 5. In fact, I'm showing DraftKings right now has already moved this game to 4.5 today, and maybe even on mostly fives out there. So maybe I should just. I had this one typed in because we were gonna go. I was gonna go over some college football yesterday, but the show was so long. So, anyways, here Thomas is going to take Michigan Wolverines, and I'm going to be going. Uh, well, I don't know where I'm going to be going with the side, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to be taking the under in this one at 44. It can be had for numbers higher than 44. In fact, pretty much everywhere it's higher than 44. But I'm going to look to go under in the game between Michigan and Penn State in this. What should be an awesome game on Saturday with Michigan coming in here as a favorite. Yeah, maybe they're ranked higher. They're undefeated. We know Penn State has the one loss, so no problem there. But I don't know this game. I rate this game very, very even. Uh, to me. Michigan's got some other issues. Don't forget as well going on. I don't know if it bothers the players any or bothers any of them at all here at this point. But something that got to be weighed in the back of the mind every time with preparations, with coaching, with scouting. Because believe it or not, you do scout the other team with in-person scouts, with sitting in stand, things like that. I mean, that's as long as you're not using like electronic devices, and hey, it's all fair and game. But here in this one, I've got this one being knocked down, drag out, non-explosive, and at 44, I'm going under. You got, Penn State's been going over quite a bit, but they've been super explosive. They're 8-1, 7-2 against the spread. That's pretty strong. Michigan in their 9-0 so far, just 4-1 to the number, so they're laying too much. Usually, apparently, uh, let Thomas go with Michigan here. I'll take the under in the big game between Michigan and Penn State. Has been as high as 46.5, now down to 45, 44.5 at most spots. Was as low as 43.5 at one point at one book, but has since gone up certainly here, and that's the way I'm going to look to go under in the game between Michigan and Penn State. It's going to be great, 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 great. I don't need to sell you on that. More big noon kickoff action here at Texas Tech and Kansas. Noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Kansas favored here at home in this one, minus 3.5. And the total currently sitting at 61 for this matchup. Kansas coming in at this point 7-2 straight up, been a pretty strong season if you're Kansas, no doubt about it. This is uh, kind of where they expected to be coming in for Kansas. This has been a big time season, no doubt about it. 5-4 against the spread, so they're not always, a sneaky team anymore here. They're favored at home against Texas Tech. Texas Tech coming in just 4-5, 4-5 to the number also so far this season. So Kansas, it's just a big deal for them to be ranked. I mean, there was that was the big celebration to be, ranked over the last couple of weeks, and they continue to move up here a little bit at number 19, I believe, in the latest poll. So good job, Kansas, off the wins here over Iowa State on the road, getting that money, getting that 7-point win, also beating Oklahoma. They have some losses, no doubt. They lost to Oklahoma State, they lost to Texas, but they won all the others. And you'd think against Texas Tech they could handle their business here. But I would think also Texas Tech might be able to do some damage with their scoring here in this one. And you look at some of these Kansas. I know that the totals don't necessarily indicate it right now. I mean, Kansas is 5-3-1 to the over, but look at some of the scores have been pretty high of late. And Texas Tech, their game against TCU last week went for 63 points in a 35-28 home victory. And they also played Houston at home, 49-28. Their game against Baylor went for 53 points, but they held Baylor to 14. They're not going to hold Kansas down. I mean, Kansas is pretty prolific at this, their offense at this point, uh, even playing both quarterbacks this season. It hasn't really been a problem. Is Daniels the number one guy that you wanted in there all season? Yeah, he is. And he's questionable again this week with that back problem. But they've been just capable with the next guy as well. And Texas Tech, their season's kind of been down ever since. Remember, their quarterback got knocked out a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago now. Their top quarterback was knocked out for the season. They'll also be without a tight end here this week as well. So I don't know. It seems like it shapes up pretty good for a hot Kansas team right here. I'll take over. I mean, they should put up a ton of points. A close spread game like this, it does make the total a little bit more difficult. I always think because look now, here are your thoughts. You look at a game here like this, and 31-28 doesn't get you home. You need another score there. You need 35-31. 38-31, 38-34, something in there. And if I'm going to get Kansas home, I might need even more than that. And Kansas is capable of doing that. You look at their offensive point totals, this year on the road at Iowa State, 28, pretty decent. The 38 against Oklahoma at home. They scored 38 at home against Oklahoma. So you can see what they could do. They scored 51 at home against UCF. Texas Tech is no better than UCF, even on the defensive side, right? They scored 38 against BYU. Yeah, BYU's been bad on the road. Bomb Missouri State for 48 points in the opener. Kansas is almost automatic for their points. I don't think they're going to get shut down here, even without Daniels. So this one gets to probably the high 60s here. Give me the over in this one. Just want to mention real quick, we talked about a game on the card earlier today, and I'm seeing a lot of movement right now. It's a game we talked about with Central Michigan and Western Michigan. I told you about that steam on the over already that had come in, but we're also seeing more movement now to the over in that game, showing it going up to as high as 58 here now, Central Michigan and Western Michigan. I wasn't sold on the move, and I said I would take a further look at it after I got off the air, but steam looks like more steam rolling in on that game. One more game for Saturday, Maryland and Nebraska. Hey, it's a good, it's okay. It's an okay one. I'm gonna watch it. I watch all Nebraska games pretty much, no matter what, and against a decent team, certainly here, like Maryland. This will be a game worth watching. And given the fact that both teams are, right there on the cusp of bowl eligibility, the winner of this game, I believe, will get win number 6. So it's almost like a playoff game to a certain extent with these two teams today. It doesn't mean they both can't go bowling. So in this one, you do have Maryland on the road. Yeah, maybe they're the more productive offense, but they don't cover that. They're 3-6 to the number despite their 5-4 record. Nebraska, this is This is almost the role that you kind of want your Nebraska in as a home dog. I just wish we were getting a little bit more, is what it feels like to me. I mean, Maryland does appear to, be the team that can produce offensively. They're averaging 30 points a game, but you're going up against that good Nebraska defense. It allows just 19 points per game, despite all the, issues they can have sometimes being successful. Maryland allowing 24 points per game, and Nebraska averaging about 20 points per game right now. As far as the move is concerned, with Maryland being a 2.5 point favorite, they opened as, let me see here. They opened, I saw Nebraska, one book opened Nebraska 1.5 point favorite. On a look ahead, it was before the last week's results. But Maryland has taken the action here from Sharps for the most part, and I'm just a guy who doesn't trust Nebraska. If it were a touchdown, it's not going to be a touchdown. I'm just talking about whoever they were playing against. But if Maryland's going to be laying under a touchdown, I'm probably going to have to get on Maryland here. Just not a guy who trusts Nebraska to ever get anything done in any game that has some relative significance right now. And again, like I said, I try to sell myself as a bit of a Nebraska fan here, week in and week out. If I looked at, there's no doubt out of these two teams, I'm not rooting for Maryland unless I'm going to pick them here. I'll probably kind of root for Maryland and root for more pain for my Huskers, because I think Nebraska I'm not sure they can beat Maryland, considering Maryland's offense with Tagovailoa here. It does bother me that Maryland doesn't cover many spreads right now, and they're 3-6 against the number on the road. But if you're going to be under a touchdown here, I'm going to lay it with Maryland. I'll feel more comfortable maybe just laying money line here. But on the show, I'm willing to go Maryland, so I'll put some money on Maryland. Make sure I'm taking the right, always going to back it with a bet. It's not fair not to. Even though, you get a lot of criticism sometimes, but hey, I'm in here to give free sports opinions every day. That's it for the show. That's how I'm ending it. Thank you, everybody, for 2 hours of fun. We got to get off the air in 2 hours. That's what we need to do. We need to be off the air as soon as we can. So thank you for joining me here on the morning steam for Tuesday. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine you see there, the 3-day all sports pass. But check out all of our handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, get signed up, or just take a look at the next games coming up in progress. I already tried to sell you on the soccer action. Maybe I could just tell you about the games covered by our handicapper, Nick Lagaretos, today. He's got premium picks in several games there, including a handicap and total in Antwerp versus Porto. Also, he has Young Boys in City, Leipzig, and Cervena Zvezda. So check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. For Tony'sPicks.com, this has been Ramon Scott.